some swirling before anything
Oh,
happens.
Good morning, Midnight's Edge fans. We're here to tell you that we have so much more to offer you now at our Mixed Tees store. Not just t-shirts and hoodies, but we do have plenty of those, and new designs for that matter. You can also get mugs, and of course our brand new limited Amber Turds stained blanket. That's right, just for your bed or wherever you need it. So head on over to Mixed Tees now and get all your apparel and goodies from Midnight's Edge.
Get up, wake up, this is your final warning. It's time for midnight edge in the morning. The gang is ready to go and it's time for the show. It's time for midnight edge in the morning.
It's Monday. It's the 1st of December, the last month of the year. You have 24 days left to shop for Christmas, if you give a crap. That is. Good morning and welcome to Midnight's Edge in the Morning, brought to you by My Sanity. This is Tom Connors, and we have the boss man, Andre, coming in from the darkening Norway, where they're about to enter 30 days of darkness. Isn't that right? Something like that.
Pretty much, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, north of the polar circle, they're already there. For those
Right?
who I've one people.
I was only
like,
half joking there.
Yeah. No, like for real, it's like 30 Days at Night, like that movie title, which is based on a paperback. But anyway, yeah, here where I'm at in the Oslo area, as I warned people like a month ago, pay attention to the windows outside. You can like see it growing gradually and gradually darker as the showtime begins. It was all bright light a month ago, and here we are. But yeah, other than that, all is good. All is cool. I start
Well,
very
good morning
short,
or good
but,
afternoon to you as it
we'll
is.
talk about that later.
Or evening. It's entering your evening now, I guess.
Yeah, it's afternoon.
Or afternoon. I did say good afternoon, so there we go. And we got Paulie. It's where it's bright and early out there in LA.
Hey everybody, what's happening? I'm bright and early in LA.
Yeah, looks like you got a big old weed plant behind you.
Yeah, weed plant. I'm in the corner of my living room, so I can.
Looks like the plant from Nice Dreams, Cheech and Chong.
It's not even a real plant, honestly. This one, of all the plants in the house, this one's not the real one. But anyways, great to be here. What's happening? What's going on in the chat?
Yes, indeed. We also have Chato coming in from the Great White North.
It's fighting. It's trying to be whitey up here. And isn't your mother Sarah Connors?
No.
Oh.
My mom's Catherine. It's Connor, not Connors. So yeah.
Oh,
I'm not the savior of shit.
just thought I'd
I
ask.
ain't stopping nothing. They wanted me to stop something. I'd be like, shit. Chris, though, he might be the future savior with that.
Flash. Good morning, everyone. It's
I was
Monday.
gonna say
Glad
that lovely
to be here.
bald head, but I have one too, so it doesn't really work.
Mm.
Mine's not as lovely as yours. Though,
Oh, isn't that sweet? I love a little flattery in the morning. Paul, you want to tear me down real quick, just
so
to
go for it.
keep me in check?
What?
No. Oh,
No,
just
Nobody
why
really
would I?
picks on you. Nobody
Come
really picks on you.
on.
I have nothing.
Nobody wants to
nothing
pick on you.
say.
I am
You want to know why
glad.
nobody picks
Oh,
on Chris?
listen,
Because he
listen,
looks like
thank-
Mr. Clean.
You promoted my video. Why would I say something bad?
Oh, that's right. Yes. Boy, that
Oh, yeah, he
variety
loves-
article still getting traction, man.
Good.
Yeah.
He loves it when you give him blowjobs on stream.
All I can do is blow smoke. That's all I can do.
Yeah, I made a couple of errors on my video, but you find that the more people that hate you, the more traffic you get.
Isn't that strange how engagement works?
Yes, engagement.
It is.
Bald Santa. I was
Speaking of
thinking about you
engagement,
today, Tom. I
Were you?
was thinking about growing. Well, sometimes in the winter I'll do goatee, right? And I know there's a few beards on the board here, but I'll occasionally do a goatee. And I remember the last time I did it was like 4 or 5 years ago. And man, it was totally white. And I thought, you know what? I look a lot younger without the facial hair. I think I'll stick to it. So
well, I'm
It's
so
strategic.
infamous. I'm starting to think that maybe I should just grow it out, like let it grow for a year, so that
oh
next
man.
year I will look like Santa Claus in case I need a job.
Yes.
That way, I could
When
just
the
go be a
super
mall
chats-
Santa.
Yeah, right.
Plus, it
No
gives
beard
women
needs
something
necessary.
to hold on to.
Ooh,
Paul, you bring up another interesting point about me being back in the dating scene again. Women do enjoy the beard. That's one thing Culture Casino did not have wrong. So yes, one of the few things Mr. Culture doesn't get wrong usually. No, but we miss him, and it's sad that we don't have him on the morning show as often anymore because the time changed. But hopefully he's feeling better. I saw him on a stream the other day, so our love out to Culture. And I also saw that we got a Loki raid coming in. So all you from the Loki stream, welcome. And speaking of interactions, let's interact with the crowd out there. We got Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle who sent us in a super sticker. Thank you so much for that, Flying Blind. We appreciate the support. Dark
Where's
King
my
points out
super sticker? Where's
is.
my super sticker?
the Dark King points out that this time of the year brings out his inner Grinch. Well, maybe you can get a job at Walmart because they're using the Grinch to promote everything this year. Pilgrim Media says the whole Christmas thing was created by Madison Avenue. Technically, you're not wrong. And Coca-Cola is responsible for me growing a beard for a year. I don't know if you realize that.
How did Coca-Cola do that?
Because the image we have of Santa Claus right now was made famous by Coca-Cola.
This is true. Yes, the Western image of Santa Claus right now, that is very much so the Coca-Cola Santa Claus,
Correct.
and not one
Yep.
from either religion or folk tradition anywhere. This is very accurate.
Yep. So yeah, you're not wrong on that. And then
So
Drew.
basically, Pepsi had a navy, and Coca-Cola invented Christmas. That's
Yes. Well, Pepsi
Yes.
also had a Michael Jackson. That helped.
Yeah.
Drew tipped says, any comments on the Macy's parade? K-pop Demon Hunters was personal highlights. Some of the other performances were kind of cringe. I didn't see it. Did anybody here on the panel watch the Macy's parade?
no, but I did see some fun AI ice raids on different characters in
Oh.
the parade. It was pretty funny.
Interesting.
Oh
boy.
I think I'm going to do an AI of Polly getting.
Well, I heard Dora got canceled. So did they get ice raided? I was curious.
That's
about
what it
that.
was. Yes.
Was it
Dora got
seriously?
thrown into the back of a van? It was so funny.
Swipe or no
yeah.
swiping, huh?
yeah.
Shit. So yeah, sorry we didn't catch the parade, but other than what Chris just said there, but
Yeah. In my defense, though, I mean that's very much my fault. I'm the one that could have said, "Guys, need to pay attention to Macy's parade," but I barely know what the Macy's parade is. I just seen like some clips and stuff like that over the years.
do they stream it? Where do you watch it now? Like, because it used to be a thing that would be on like every network. See, that's the thing. Here's like the monoculture
It's a thing
gone
in
away.
the U.S. only.
Yeah.
I
It's
assure you.
It's on YouTube.
I was gonna say because back when we were kids or back like 20 years ago or whatever, depending on who you are on the panel, like it just was on all the networks and stuff or whatever. I think maybe NBC or ABC or whatever would carry it. I thought it was on all of them, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things that was on every Thanksgiving before the football would start, and that was just the thing. You know, now there's just I hadn't thought about it in years, to be honest with you, until you just brought it up, Drew.
I don't even know if the Detroit Lions won.
I think the Packers played. That's
Isn't
all I know.
Thanksgiving college games, not NFL?
There might be some, but mostly no. The big thing is you wait for whatever the big NFL games are in the evening and stuff.
Yeah, they don't make.
So I'm pretty
their
sure the
college
Packers
kids
played
play
this
on
year. I think it was.
Thanksgiving.
Thought maybe I'm wrong. What was that? Sorry, what'd you say?
I said they don't make the college kids play on Thanksgiving. They got to go home
No,
to
I
the
don't think so.
families.
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I don't keep up with that anymore because I don't have regular television or nothing. And then M. Miller says, with 14 South African rands, anyone actually think Warner Brothers will sell? Good question, Andre. I just brought this up to you. What was it last night? Your morning.
Yeah.
About how there's a new and we just dropped a video on somewhat close to this, but not exactly this. We did talk about this, but you mentioned this at the end of the more recent video about the
Yeah,
whole Warner Brothers sale.
In our Saudi Arabia video dropped yesterday featuring Neom and the Line. That was a fun video to make. It was made since you guys requested it. I asked in the previous Snyderverse restored video, wanted me to do a video on Neom because that's a fun story. There it was. So we do our best to please. It was a fun video to make, and From the comments, many found it quite enlightening into the Saudis' motivations and how they're really not coming from a position of strength in doing this. As for the question, anyone think Warner actually will sell? Yes, when the price and the offer is right. That's the key thing. Tom is entirely right about that. Tom is like saying before, it's not going to sell for anything less than Fox, and we are now starting to reach the levels of Fox. And I think this is something that I heard reported before. I do not recall exactly where it was, but there was some kind of rumor that an earlier offer that wasn't high enough share price apparently had a position in it for Zaslav still. I think that's the kind of offer that's going to sweeten the deal. I think it has to be some kind of offer where the share price is this high and Zaslav gets to stay. And if Zaslav doesn't get to stay, the share price has to be even higher. But really, why wouldn't you want to keep Zaslav? Because as it is right now, he is by far the most successful executive in Hollywood. And the turnaround operation that he has done on Warner is quite staggering in a relatively short amount of time.
Remind me of the one outlet that has said for a while now that Zaslav does not want to leave.
Us?
Bingo.
Yeah.
And now that's become a thing. And I've been telling people that for a while. Yeah, at first he was going to flip the house. And then all of a sudden everybody's like, fuck you, Zaslav. We don't want you playing mogul. We don't want you around. And he's like, you know what? I kind of like this.
Yeah. I think it's much like Bob Iger. Remember basically when Bob Chapek came in? And Bob Iger, he didn't really step down as CEO. He kind of like stepped down as CEO in name only. But the deal was, I get to do all of the fun stuff. I get to have the 2 showers every day. I get to keep my office. I get to hang out with the celebrities. I get to go to the parties. You do the actual work. I think that Zaslav, in the same way as Iger, maybe got a little bit smitten by the lifestyle, hanging with the celebrities, being one of the it crowd. And he's like, I kind of like this. I want to stay here now. I think it's more so that than screw you guys. I'm sticking around. I'm not going home.
There might be a little bit of that, though, I think. I think there's a little bit of that. Because you got to look at it from his perspective, too. And this is just pure speculation. You got to look at it from the perspective of this guy has been the Trump of Hollywood for the last few years, right? Even people inside his own business have been bad-mouthing him in public, right? Yeah. Everybody has said that Warner Brothers is on the verge of, bankruptcy. It's going to fall apart. And yet it's the only studio that's been managing to be consistent. And the reason is because of the structure that Zaslav has put in place, right?
No, that's actually not correct. He's taking credit for it. You're right, Tom. But the inside scoop, the inside deal is that all this success was greenlit way before him.
Much of it was, right? Not all of it. Some of the stuff he did greenlit, but much of it was before.
I'm just going off of an executive, Tom, that I actually just hung out with at a party on totally. A birthday party of someone in the. Anyways, long story. I wasn't looking for any information or anything like that, and we just started talking, Tom, and I was like, "What?" Totally blew my mind. And this is a Zaslav executive.
Do you think though that it was Zaslav's decision to can Batgirl? I know that wasn't figured into the deal. So he's making executive decisions, and one of the things I'm hearing about this Paramount offer is they're going to include CNN in it. They want CNN too, because they still see CNN as a valuable brand. And so there's a very good Ellison's. If there's going to be a deal, I think they've got the best shot on this, whether they keep Zaslav or not. If they do keep Zaslav, I think it's a done deal, especially if they're going to take CNN.
I don't know what you're exactly saying as far as like things that were in place beforehand, because what I was getting at is Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca were 2 people that he put in charge. Yeah. And Mike DeLuca has been somebody I've been saying for about, 25 years, should have been running New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers instead of Toby Emmerich. But now I did some research and I kind of figured that out a little bit more after we had our interview with Robert Shea as to why that came to be instead of the other way around. And one of the things that's helping DeLuca right now is one of the reasons why Bob didn't want him to take over, and that is he takes too many chances. And look at all the chances they have taken. Because if you take Joker 2 and Furiosa out of the equation, which Furiosa and that Tom Cruise deal, or not Tom Cruise, Leonardo DiCaprio deal, those are the only two that I'll put on their shoulders. Because anybody in Hollywood would have made the same deal for the Joker. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody would have made that deal.
Yeah, and this, of course, is to your point, Paulie, which is true. Abdi and DeLuca were there before Zaslav. Many of the things that have been successful are their movies. He made the great idea of putting those even more to the forefront.
Yeah.
Well, they were there, but he put them in charge as CEOs. Zaslav did, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And to add to what Tom was saying is that what Zaslav did come in and really kick ass on was chopping, cutting stuff out.
Yeah.
Well, they had a lot of debt they had to get rid
anything
of.
that was a risk, they just don't have. They don't have the time and space for risks. So he kept things going. Like the big movies, like Superman. Or to them, Sinners was the risk, but then it wasn't too. So
Things like Sinners are what made Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca the hot number right now, and that's why whatever the sale is, and that's why a lot of people are saying they want to keep them on board, right? And that's the same thing with James Gunn, for better or worse too. Most of these people are saying they're going to keep them on board. But now to take it back to the whole Saudi Arabia thing, they, as far as I know, have actually put in the highest bid now. I think it's $71.3 billion, was it, Andre?
Is that Saudi Arabia? But that's Saudi Arabia in conjunction with who?
I think it's with Ellison, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So that's the whole point, is they're sweetening the pot or sweetening the pie, or however you want to put it, for that deal. But again, I digress. Zaslav will not sell for anything less than what Fox sold plus some, because you guys got to remember, Fox didn't have shit. Because Disney didn't even get all the networks and all that shit with Fox. They couldn't take the networks because of ABC, right? So they couldn't. And in this case, you have another situation where, again, Warner Brothers as a whole is a much bigger company by far than Fox. You've got the music, you've got the television side of things, you've got all, and not, I'm not talking about networks. I'm talking about the amount of television stuff they produce just for other networks, right? That all comes with it, along with what other, the IPs and the catalogs. And I say catalogs plural because they have MGM's catalog and a bunch of other stuff on top of it that isn't even Warner Brothers, right? So you're talking about a company that is much bigger and much broader than Fox ever was. So there's no way that Zaslav's going to sell for like less than probably, I think the magic number is going to be somewhere close to $80 billion. That's my hunch.
Tom's absolutely right, because that's why Zaslav was here. And this has not happened overnight. His whole purpose is to get this baby ready to sell the last couple of years. And he's done a fantastic job
and
of
he'll
that.
Just sit there and let the stock price go up and up and up.
Yeah.
Which will make the worth go up and up and up.
And I haven't talked about this on the channel anywhere, but the other thing that I got, which I think is very interesting, is that this man in regards to personality is like a Trump, that he comes into the room and he's a people person. He makes deals happen. People, the media, like, the Hollywood media might have this other perception of how they paint him, but I'm talking about Zaslav. The truth is that people love him, and he makes stuff. He makes it happen. So I thought that was fascinating as well, what I heard from one of his execs.
Well, I'm curious if Chris or Paul have anything to add to that before we also bring in Marvin here. Good morning.
Hey, gentlemen. Sorry, I'm a little late. Been a busy morning. So we're talking about the Warner Brothers sale. It doesn't matter who gets it. The only thing that you need to remember is they're definitely bringing back the Snyderverse when they get it. It's the entire reason. $80 billion just to bring back Zack Snyder.
Yeah, they don't care about nothing else. You're
nope.
right.
Yeah.
Nope.
That was a big part of the video we posted yesterday.
Paul, are you still there, or did you check out for a few minutes? I think Paul stepped away. Chris, did you have anything to say on this? I know you've been
I think it's going to sell. I just don't know who yet.
Well, so one thing, so we just posted an article on this. I don't know if you guys were discussing it. the New York Post had a thing about the White House is already basically telling Netflix, don't even bother because you're not getting it.
Oh, no, I
Those
didn't
wow.
see
do
that.
that?
No, I didn't see that. We
Yeah.
did post something about Ellison
Wow.
making an offer and Trump wanting them to sort of do the same thing with CNN that they're doing with CBS.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
I didn't know that Trump
been
had
going.
pushed out to Netflix.
Well,
Interesting.
And let
basically-
me add on. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Marvin.
Yeah.
I wanted to add on what you're saying.
Yeah, what happened was the Post reported on a high-level meeting of government officials, and a couple of them are sources in this article, and they basically said that everyone is pretty much in agreement that Netflix buying Warner Brothers is not going to happen because of regulatory, antitrust situations here. So basically, they leaked it out through the New York Post of like, don't even try, because not only will we, look into the antitrust, but this will make us look deeper into your company as well. Beyond that. So I'm pretty sure Netflix is out of the.
I'm sure the Obamas wouldn't mind that.
Obamas are done.
I'm just curious
That's
what
probably what they don't want looked too closely into.
I was curious what the antitrust factor would be with Netflix, though, compared to any other studio buying them, like Paramount. Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out, I guess. I need that answer. I'm not saying I want that last people I want to buy Warner Brothers Netflix. In fact, I don't want anybody to buy Warner Brothers. I want Warner Brothers to stay Warner Brothers.
So you want the split to happen?
Yes. And I think that's what Zaslav and his people want to.
I wouldn't mind the Paramount thing.
I think their initial plan was to sell, but every time they say something or they hint at something, it sounds like lawyer speak for that's great. We'll look into it, but we're probably going to split because nobody's going to offer us the kind of money we want.
You mentioned monopolies or whatever. I'm working on a piece that's going to go up hopefully Wednesday about sort of the new monopolies that we're in, ever since the Paramount decrees got taken away and you couldn't own your own theaters back during that time, right? Because the studios own their own theaters. So it wasn't based on merit because the movie got played because they own the theater, right?
Right.
And then, of course, once those decrees went in place, the theater owners decided if the movie came and how long it stayed, really. But
yes and no, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, but now that's gone, right? And now what you have is this new monopoly with the platforms where it's cheaper for them just to make their own content and they'll promote their own content. And now the indies kind of get shut out because Prime Video is going to obviously promote their own stuff. Netflix is going to promote their own stuff. Why should they even bother to spend any money on the independent stuff? And it doesn't matter about merit because they don't even have to show you viewership numbers. All they care about is subscriber churn, period. That's it.
Risk factor.
It's sort of a new monopoly. So I'm working on that for Wednesday.
Hit me up after, or like between now and then, to kind of like there's something I want to throw at you that you might not.
I'd love it.
You might realize it, but you might not, because it's talking about how it took out the factor of like MGM and all those guys being able to like force, because that you had MGM theaters, you had Paramount theaters, whatever.
Yeah. But
then after that, what happened was you had like the Cineplexes came into play, and the studios started playing the Cineplexes against the bigger houses. So you had basically the same goddamn thing happening all over again, but because the Cineplexes could show 3 or 4 screens of the Disney movie, they'll let the Cineplex have it, not the big theater downtown. And so you had all these other theaters getting shut down because they couldn't get any movies played. Because
I'll send you the draft.
So you probably have something like that in there already, but I didn't know like if you did or not, because that was one thing.
I think you'd have some
history repeated itself all over again.
Right on.
And that's kind of where we're hitting the tail end of this here, right? Because up until COVID, like Disney and some of these other studios had the theaters by the balls. And I remember talking to a small town theater, and she was pissed because of all the restrictions that Disney had over them, and she was just laying it out for me. I'm like, nobody's ever told me these things before. I'm kind of surprised, but some of it I'm not. And like they had to keep the movies in the certain theaters with certain, for a certain amount of time, whether they were playing or not. So like she was pissed if something else would come in that was bigger, because she couldn't move it out of that big theater then, right? So she was stuck watching, because she didn't have a huge amount of screens to be moving stuff around in.
It's all very fascinating.
But anyhow, that being said, let's get into the topics of the day. One thing on the Arab thing, though, Hypergiver2 says the Arabs owning American IP is a cultural net negative. I'm still upset that China own Conan via proxy. Yeah, there is that, but at least it's being.
Tencent owns Funko, I think, and who owns?
Exactly, it's Funcom. It's via Funcom.
Funcom. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so that is true.
Yeah,
and then on the Snyderverse.
I still trust Heroic Signatures. They're handling it well. I'll leave it.
They are amazing so far.
It's got at least an American component or a somewhat non-Chinese component or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Flying blind on a rocket.
Scandi component.
That's I was going to say not an American, but yes, you knew what I meant. Non-Chinese anyway. Hey, bring back Amber, Ezra, and Jared Leto's Joker. I'll back it. Yeah, right. Flying blind. This is like the elephant in the room that none of the Snyder Bros ever want to address.
Nope.
Right? Never. They never want to bring it up. And this is one of the reasons why I highlighted that one where like Snyder's posting pictures of Amber Heard. It's like, good for him. That's not going to help him in this case. Like,
wait, did he really?
Yeah,
he was posting Amber Heard. Oh, come on.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just trolling now. Does this mean Nicolas Cage is part of the Snyderverse? I mean, is that
technically yes?
Yeah. And Christopher Reeve, I guess, even kind of.
Well, so my thing with it is they're like, well, if the Snyderverse wasn't coming back, well, then why would he be sharing all these photos? Because it breaks the internet every time he does it. It gets him attention.
He's an attention whore.
That's why. Keeps him relevant. Keeps him relevant.
Audience.
Makes him more likely to land that next job.
And right now, it takes the pressure off the fact that Netflix just dumped all of his projects. So now nobody's talking about that. Stupid.
Negative, because he still has his fan base. He still has YouTube channels dedicated to him.
Yeah, he's reaching his audience with those posts.
He keeps reinforcing himself with his Snyder Bro fans. Absolutely, he's got a strong base.
The way you keep that fan base, though, Paulie, is you keep stoking the fires of hope that someday, that if they just keep being passionate, they'll get their
has a fan base too.
There's that, and the fact that he has a filmography, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And basically,
he's got the filmography, and they're always gonna have, what do you call it? Freaking conferences where he goes and he's with his Snyder fans, and they're watching his movies together. That is just like they're all like jerking off with each other watching his old films.
I just want to point out that compared to everyone here, I actually had a television series. I just want to point that out.
You don't know that.
2 television series.
You actually don't know that, Chato. And Israel doesn't count.
This knob job, though, not Chato, different knob job. The Snyder
knob job.
Yeah, no, Snyder put up a thing on where he posted a picture of Henry Cavill as Superman, and he's like sneering and looking angry, and he's like pure Superman. I'm like, tell me that you don't understand Superman without telling me that you don't understand Superman, you putrid hack.
Oh, don't even get me started on that, because we'll be here for a while. We got to get into the box office because we're already way late into this already. So let's do this thing. Well, before that, Miller says, why doesn't Warner Brothers send Snyder with a cease and desist? It would be pointless. He's not.
It would also blow up in their face.
Yeah.
Streisand effect.
Imagine, just think about Axanar, right? Because I was like thinking a little bit, like as Paulie was mentioning, he still has his fans and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, absolutely, he does. And I stand by the opinion that you actually should do Justice League Part 2 and Part 3 as animated specials. So bring back the cast if they want to come, and the ones that you don't want to come back, you just replace with the sound alike, and it's all good. Do an Ezra Miller sound alike, it's all good. Amber Heard sound alike, it's all good. Real Jared Leto, I still want to see that Mad Max future. So yeah, it'd be all for that. But again, I'm in the minority there. But just like Axanar, he has his fan base. And the worst thing that Paramount ever did was to try to sue Axanar, because that was a massive, massive signal boost in the worst way possible. So you just have to let him do it. And also, here's the thing. I would not put any stock in the Snyderverse actually coming back, but I'm also not going to completely and utterly rule it out under any scenario, because there exists a possible path within our reality where something like that could happen. Now, it's not likely. It's not likely at all. It's about the same level of likelihood as someone slapping handcuffs on Obama and Biden. But it's something that's within the realm of reality could happen. Just don't put money on it. But still, don't sue.
Well,
The only
as
thing
I
in
have
the
this,
Snyderverse that didn't happen that I wanted to see was that Ben Affleck, Jeff Johns Batman solo film. That's it.
Yeah. As Tom points out, Uwe Boll has his fan base too.
well,
They could do an animated version of this. I think that would be perfect.
that's kind of the rumblings
fine.
I've heard, just to kind of
Yeah.
shut up the Snyder Bros. But
Yeah.
They'll say it's not enough. They'll complain and bitch and moan.
here's one for Marvin. We've got the cinematographer of Batman v Superman, Larry Fong himself, saying, Zach posting some past memories on Instagram, so I thought I would too. They were good times. Don't try to read too much into it. So I think that he's kind of telling you flat out, like, yeah, don't get
It ain't happening.
And then
No, it ain't happening,
Forbes
guys.
just had an article out where they were like, listen, like whatever happens with Warner Brothers, they're keeping James Gunn's universe intact. It's staying put. They're not going to change that. And it would be stupid to change it at this point. You've had one movie. See how it does. You had one movie that dog walked everything that Marvel put out all year.
Exactly. Well, beyond that, let's look at the reality of it. I posted this on X. Andre said basically the same thing in his most recent video about it. The bottom line is this. Even if, let's just say the big theoretical if, tomorrow, Saudi Arabia, somebody bought the place and they said, nope, James Gunn, you're done. We're buying out your contract. We're bringing back Zack Snyder. It would literally take almost 3 to 5 years to probably get everything back in motion again. Yep. Right? That's if they even have a script ready to go. Because then you got to get everybody signed on. You got to get all the schedules lined up. You got to get the goddamn thing shot. And then by the time that's done and the special effects are all done, it's going to be 2028 by the time that movie comes out. At least. And that's being generous as fuck. We're probably talking more like 2030.
Amazing that we're even talking about Snyder shit.
Yeah, it's dumb. And that's if Zack Snyder's not even busy already with something else. See, that's the other thing they're not even considering. Because look, I'm not going to sit here and shit on Zack Snyder all day long. Is his Netflix shit done? Yes. But you know what Zack Snyder can do tomorrow? He can shit out probably 20 fucking indie films a year. No problem.
I liked his 300 and Dawn of the Dead.
You've got no incentive.
Even those.
Well, they said that at Netflix, he wanted $100 million for some cop thing that he was making. And they were like, well, how about 80? And he was like, no, it has to be 100. Yeah. And it's like, shut up, dude. Like, you don't have a leg to stand on after the turkeys that you have served up.
Yeah. So anyhow, there was that. But then let's get into the box office, because this is where, one day Snyder will offer his fans spiked Kool-Aid. Thank you, ActionCom. Yes. But we're going to get past the Snyder stuff now and get into the actual box office. Because as Dark King points out here, Zootopia, franchise ruined by its fan base. And Packing Proton says, how to confuse morning show hosts. Ask this, did they Lola Bunny Judy's CGI model, or she an Ozempic? Remember, more curves.
I have never examined the curves of a cartoon rabbit, so...
Yeah, that's the question of the day.
Except
so let's get into
Jessica Rabbit. I will say that. Except for Jessica.
Is she really a rabbit?
She just identifies as a rabbit.
She was just a Mrs. Rabbit. That's all.
She married one. That doesn't make her one.
That's true.
He has questionable sense in men, but other than that,
that's true.
Hey, Roger's a good dude.
It does make her a furry, though.
Yeah,
that's true. That is true. Now you
had
have to bring
news,
that up.
The creator did get the rights back to Roger Rabbit recently.
He did. Yes.
Now he can make that movie.
Well, he wants to make a live action Jessica Rabbit, which is a terrible idea.
The whole point of her is she's a cartoon. Unless
she's
a cartoon in a real
not
world,
if you have Sydney Sweeney starring in the role.
Oops. We'll see.
And the box office, you were saying?
Yeah, what? I was thinking about Jessica Rabbit. Y'all got into one of my...
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but she's not a midget one.
Who's pulling
it doesn't
it up?
matter. It doesn't have to be a midget. I'm just eclectic. Wait a minute. Where's my box office button here? I can't find it. There we go. The box office. Jeez. Brought to you by. That's right. So what's going on in the box office, guys? Oh yeah, the furries have taken over. Yes, they have.
With some help from the family audience everywhere,
course,
because the
of
first
course.
Zootopia was a really, really
But
good.
what did I tell everybody?
Honest about that.
What did I fucking tell everybody? It's one thing, yes, the gays will show up for Wicked. That's true. But never underestimate the number of furries there are out there.
The furry audience is massive, and they are not
Big.
to be underestimated in the slightest. And they did help the first movie, which also happened to be a great movie. And they also were a big part of the box office success of this movie right here. Like the furry audience, this is a huge, huge niche audience. Yeah, it's niche, but it's a big niche with a huge overlap with the manga crowd. So yeah, do not underestimate
And the Sonic
furry
crowd.
audience. Yeah.
We learned.
You know what's
Can I
crazy?
just get a little furry clarification? Tom, you put up a photo. Was that you
No.
dressed as a furry?
No, I stole that. Dude,
I mean,
did
what
you
are you
see the
doing?
person who posted that? I would be like a bear. There's no way
because
I'd
you
be that
posted
skinny.
the photo with no context. You're like,
I know.
I just got this like vision in my
Funny.
head when you posted that of like you at Tom Connors just sitting normally in a movie theater surrounded by these people, and I'm like, just put the camera on Tom for the full
Marvin,
2
you better
hours.
believe if I was, I'd be like, look at these motherfuckers right here.
no, you know what I thought
I'd
of?
be
Like, Tom's only wearing his bottoms, and he's just sitting there. Because
Then there's that.
photo was like, what the hell?
I'd be like, look at these motherfuckers right here. But what can I say? I ain't wearing no fucking pants. So like,
It's the only way I ever go to Disney movies.
yeah. So anyhow, so Zootopia, $156 million, and the 6th highest opening for an American film in China. Marvin, let's throw this to you first,
Sure.
since you're the Disney man. Big deal for Disney. This is a
Huge.
big deal for Disney.
Huge. China showed up in a way that I don't think anyone really thought they ever would again. With I think it was like 270 million out of China alone. So I mean, this movie made $500 million in one holiday weekend, which is mind-boggling. Which I mean, so it's pretty much a surefire billion-dollar movie at this point. It's just a matter of how far above that it's going to go. What this is going to do, I think, is I think everyone was kind of like, oh, Hollywood is moving beyond China. Hollywood's not going to kowtow to China anymore because China's not giving them anything anymore. Disney is about to give China anything it wants. Oh, you want Simulu fired? Sure, we'll do it. We'll do it. Just put our movies in your
Hold
theater.
on a second. Hold on. Zootopia was popular in China because it reminded them of the wet market.
I don't understand the China thing with Zootopia, but go on, Marvin.
I don't get it. I don't get it either.
Paul, you could be right.
No, this is
I like how my food sings.
this is unbelievably huge for Disney. It's going to be big. It's huge for China in maintaining its pull or its sway over the American box office. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do now to make sure that like not only are these movies that will release in China, but are they movies that the Chinese audience wants to see? I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of that all of a sudden.
Well, I think it's kind of a nasty plan if China's going, you know what? We're going to be selective about what American movies we choose to. I mean, that's a little bit different from accepting a movie or not. But
they already are. They're doing that. I mean, as it is right now, the CCP has full. They can't control what the Chinese audience actually go to see, but they can control which movies get wide release there, and they can also control what kind of commercial push each movie gets there.
But
so
my point is proactively or not.
Yeah.
That's my point. Proactiveness.
Yeah.
Anyway, Good for Zootopia.
Yeah,
Hopefully
it did $556 million weekend globally.
That's pretty insane, and that also means that this is on track to be the biggest movie of the year.
Yeah.
It very well is going or most likely will overtake Lilo and Stitch, which means that Disney would have the biggest and the second biggest movie of the year. Who knows where Avatar is going to turn out, but that also could be somewhere in the top 3 there, which means it's going to be the year of the furry animals.
It could be, though. Marvin, I don't know if we were talking about this with you here or not, but like there is some rumblings coming out of Disney that they're kind of worried about Avatar's box office.
Yes. Not only that, James Cameron, we were talking about this, I think, last week, where James Cameron is basically saying, like, he's basically saying, like, if this one bombs, like, that'll be it. But again, like the way we said in the last time we discussed this, I think he's just trying to temper expectations so that when the movie does, you know, exceptionally well for a normal movie, but marginally well for an Avatar movie, they'll be able to view it in the media as a success. Because I think China's going to show up to that in droves as well.
Probably.
They might. That seems to be the only people that showed up for the last one, though, too. Like, because honestly,
I mean, you look at what did Zootopia do domestically over this? What was it? 100 something million? 150. Oh yeah, that's it right there. 156. Avatar is slated to do less than that. I mean, they're saying about 100 million, I think. For its opening week, but then again, it's also not coming out in a holiday weekend. I don't think it's a Christmas release. I think it's before Christmas, right?
It's going to make huge numbers at IMAX.
Yes, and I'm sure Zootopia 2 is doing huge IMAX numbers, which is another reason why Wicked's release date was incredibly stupid and short-sighted. Gave themselves a 4-day runway with the premium screens instead of like 2 to 3 weeks. So, you know, it's I don't know who at Universal was responsible for that, but they should reevaluate.
Anyone here watch Zootopia?
I haven't seen it yet. I was supposed to go this weekend. I didn't get to go.
Our reviewer liked it. Said it's the best Disney sequel ever.
Pro saw it. He did a review. I think he was generally favorable about it. He said it's not woke. So again, a non-woke movie is resonating with families. Go figure.
What?
I'll be checking out Avatar tonight, and social media.
Yeah, you just mentioned that.
Embargo lift will be later tonight.
Oh wow, you get to see it already.
Wow.
Yeah, cool.
The beauty for Avatar is that they don't really have much looks like for competition. Like everybody got out of its way.
Correct. Yeah.
Like unless some surprise happens between now and Avatar, like they are lucky. And Kill Bill, I was kind of surprised they're doing a pretty limited release on that one. Considering
I think the surprise, Tom, would be if Zootopia keeps trucking.
They must be really confident in this Avatar film because it doesn't come out till the 19th. You're seeing it today, and the social media embargo lifts today. It probably
opens in some other countries before it opens here, I bet, because this is where I've been saying, like, US, we'd have to bring it back up, but I know the last one didn't do like stupendous in the US, but it did amazing outside the US, and that's why it did so well.
The first one.
I'm curious how well this one's going to do.
Yeah, the first one was a phenomenon outside. There were reports from other countries, like people were depressed that they couldn't go live on Pandora, and I'm like, why would you want to live there? Everything tries to kill you. Like, it sounds like the worst possible place for you to go. You can't breathe, and everything wants to kill you.
But we'll see. Like, you might be right. Zootopia might just hang in there for the U.S. audience.
I think that might be the only surprise. I mean, and then it'll get a bump up, again once Christmas Vacation's on. But Avatar's got the benefit of the calendar, just like Wicked and Zootopia have had.
Wicked, I'm curious how long that's going to hang on for, because the first one didn't quite reach the $1 billion mark, right? It was like
between 7 and 800. But
and I think this one's going to do about 8 and fall off, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, and I was talking about this weekend, and that as you guys know, that wasn't that was the whole point that they broke it up. so they can say the Wicked film franchise is $1 billion one, and that happened 2 days ago. That it's $1 billion franchise now. You add that to the Wicked IPs, and again, incredible video, Tom and Andre. I recommend everyone see the Wizard of Oz Wicked video you guys put up. I referenced it in my video. Is that the Wicked franchise is over $7 billion now altogether. Books, every musical theater, merchandise, all that.
Well, and what I'm hearing from
everything
people who've
together,
actually,
that sounds about right. Yeah.
yeah, and the thing I'm hearing from everybody now, even after we did our video, which is kind of funny, because I hadn't seen the movie. I don't know if Andre's seen it yet, but
I have
from a few people who have, from the few people who have, they've said they're not sure how they're going to do the sequels. It kind of sounds like they've put themselves in a worse position than Dune 2 did, where they're like, a lot of people are like, they can't really jump off of here to the books. The only place you can jump to is dun da da da. What did we say, Andre?
Well, the more books from that same guy who wrote Wicked, or they can go their own direction. But
basically, people are saying Wizard of Oz instead of going the Wicked route. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But either, which of course makes sense. But I think it's much more likely that they are going to go their own direction, unbound by what has come before. They'll just take some inspiration from it.
It'll be a bastardized version. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
But anyhow, anybody else here see Wicked? Because that's the other thing I keep hearing is that. What do you think, Marvin?
It was nowhere near as good as the first one. It was a much darker tone. I don't think it has a lot of rewatchability. They had to pad it out because it is the third. So it's the second act of the play, but in the grand scheme of the overarching 3-act narrative, it is the third act of a complete story. So it's just very dreary. They had to pad it out a lot, and it was literally like they shot it on a different camera when they added new stuff, because the quality of the dialogue and the music was so wildly different that it was jarring when they went to something new. My wife, who is the target audience for this movie, who loves the first one and plays the soundtrack nonstop, loves it. She thought it was great. So, it worked for the people that it worked for. It didn't work for people it didn't work for. But it saw a 57.3% drop at the box office in its second weekend, which just shows that Zootopia is stealing away now the family audience from them, which is, I think, what they were relying on. So originally, there was a gap between the first Wicked and Wicked for Good. Wicked for Good made a lot more in its opening weekend than Wicked did. But now with the second weekend, the gap has shortened quite a bit. And now
it's playing like a sequel now. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And so now they're basically on par with each other. So I would assume that you're going to get, about equal to or less than what the original made at the box office.
And that's where I wouldn't be surprised if it goes a little.
They're not. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm probably going to say about the same thing you're about to say too. And that is, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little less than, and that's just because of the response you just said. And that's what majority of the people that have seen it, even bigger fans of the original film, were basically saying they don't know why they just didn't make it one movie. Because the second half just feels so drawn out, and they changed so much. Yeah,
there's no one that will go to see this movie 4 times. I don't think the way they were with the first one. Like they re-released it as a sing-along because it was so popular and people wanted to sing along with the movie. I don't think that happens here. It's just it's basically, it's got like the tone of the second half of Revenge of the Sith. Not the quality of, it's got the tone of, like, where everything is just like dark and dreary and hopeless.
So right on, Tom, 100% that it's not going to make as much as the first one, but it doesn't need to because it's already as far as the ledger books from the studio, it's $1 billion hit.
Exactly.
They spliced it in two. They hobbitized it, and they don't care about
and you got other sales too that'll go along.
And you
with
got
it, exactly.
The merchandise is sick. So it's kind of a weird argument. It's like I don't see much of an argument here, Marvin, in regards to like, well, it's made less than, and I don't know this and that.
It's still going to make a lot of money. I mean, it's still going to be a success. Yeah. I'm just saying it's not going to be $1 billion hit.
I think what we're saying though is the response is that it's not going to possibly live up to the last one. That's, I think, the basic.
Yeah,
I think we all.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's a failure by.
And Andre, I know, has to leave us here, so I don't know if there was anything on the on the board here that you wanted to bring up specifically, or anything you wanted to address? before
Not
we do have to go?
specifically. Just want to say that we of course we can make the argument that it's not as big a hit as I'm sure some people would have liked, but it's big enough that the Oz franchise is going to continue in a perverted, subverted form.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. At least let's call it the Wicked franchise, so it's not too
Yeah.
on the nose.
And I do have to leave here, but before I do, I just want to do one plug. Of course, everyone stay tuned. This stream to redirect to that park place afterwards. But if you check the description, there is also a link to a very, very cool short film that premieres later tonight called Ruins Ignite. That's a short film that I attended the premiere of in Norway on Saturday, because it's made by the same creative genius who made the Midnight's Edge opening vignette. You know, the logo and stuff like that. Yeah, he does short films too. And he made an amazing one that's really well filmed, really well lit, and it's filmed in a very, very cool location. Remember in the beginning of Captain America, the first Avenger, where they collect the first Infinity Stone in an old Norwegian city? That's Tønsberg, Norway. That's where this movie is filmed. So yeah, be sure to check that out.
Cool beans. All right. Well, thanks, Andre. I know you got to run, but
I do.
right.
Have a great rest of the stream, everyone.
See you, Andre.
Take care.
Right.
When I was in Budapest, they're still catching up to the timeline of movies, and the most recent opening was Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, cool.
So
no wonder it wasn't on the greatest 100 list.
yeah, they still have a lot of movies to go, but that's your former Iron Curtain countries have a lot of. You should see Romania is. That's whatever happened to whatever.
You weren't even here yet, were you? When we did when I did the Netflix bit, you would have probably got a kick out of that. Because you remember when Netflix got shut down in Russia for a while?
No.
Okay, so like I did this whole bit where this guy was like, don't worry about Netflix being shut down because I'm the new Netflix, and this whole thing was, I will come to your house and I will bring my videotapes. We have 4 videotapes. We have Back to the Future. We have, and I will watch them with you.
The latest one, yes, that's.
Yeah, the latest stuff, it was like Back to the Future and shit like that. Yeah.
Listen, we're going to rely on Russian hackers to make sure that we can manage and maintain a whole bunch of our own stuff, like farm machinery and cars, and Hyundai just brought out a car that requires a subscription for someone to change their brake pads.
Yeah. I'll have to send you those little skits I did.
You need that sounds good. Yeah. No, it's you're going to need Russian software to crack your car just to be able to maintain it yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of if anything goes wrong with my newer vehicles.
New world that we're heading towards.
Well, my parents had that too. The computer took a shit in their vehicle, and the car should have been fine, but it was a computer. But anyhow, that being said, Predator dropped down to I think it kind of stayed at 4th spot, didn't it? Wasn't it 4th spot last week too? Because now you see me beat it out last week again. So those movies really didn't move.
I think it's closer, but I doubt it'll make it to the 200 million mark worldwide. It's like 173 million, which is amazing that it even made that much. I was like, damn. I know they would love for it to get to 210, and they can claim it a hit, but I still don't think it's going to happen.
So what's this Eternity movie? Is that anything worth the shit?
Eternity is the movie where the lead gets to decide who she wants to spend her life in eternity with after she's passed away.
Oh, I saw that one. Poster for this. Yeah.
With Teller in it.
Miles Teller.
Is
it Olsen?
Yeah.
Is it
Elizabeth Olsen? Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've heard some good things. There you go. Since Corner says it was actually pretty good. Enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
So she's a widow and got remarried,
right?
And so
the ghost of her former husband
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that sounds interesting. So somebody took the whole joke that everybody makes about Titanic and actually made it into a movie. Cool.
That's the kind of thing though that raises like uncomfortable questions for me about the afterlife, because like I think about that kind of stuff and it's like a day ruiner sometimes.
So I think what's great is that this is actually in the top 10. It's like a diversity of stories. Wonderful.
What's
Yeah, I
Hamnet?
wonder how much it
Was
cost.
that like Hamlet on the internet?
I was wondering about that. Like Hamnet? What the hell's that? Yeah.
Hamnet is a Chloe Zhao movie that's getting the major awards buzz. It stars Paul Mescal and oh god, what's her name? Buckley, something Buckley. Supposedly she's amazing in this film. Like she's for sure going to get the all the awards, but it is about the making of Hamlet. So like things like Shakespeare in Love, like the behind the scenes. And I am like giving you a really bad synopsis, guys.
So it's set in like old-timey England.
Yeah, it's set during the time that Shakespeare's making Hamlet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Actually, it sounds like something I would watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually like Chloe Zhao in her wheelhouse, and not in the Eternals wheelhouse. Yeah, same Chloe Zhao. Yes, guys.
The fact that they ever trusted her with the Eternals is mind-boggling.
Any
to
Marvel
me.
movie, seriously.
She's the one. She's now behind the Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot. With well, technically it's with Disney, because Disney owns Fox now.
I'm so concerned about
how much does
our
Joss
culture.
Whedon have to do with Buffy though? Doesn't he own part of it?
I would assume he's getting a check, but he's not involved in any way, shape, or form.
I thought he had some kind of creative control over it. Or am I wrong? Maybe.
I wouldn't have been shocked if he did, but yeah. They probably offered him. They probably did the Roseanne thing. They probably offered him a dump truck full of cash.
Yeah,
to
stay
buy
away.
out and stay away.
I would think so. Yeah, they almost have to, because I thought he did have some kind of ownership over it at last I knew, but I could be wrong. Somebody in the chat will correct me.
Buffy is my favorite TV show of all time, pretty much. Buffy and Angel together. I love those shows. But it is so written in Joss Whedon's voice that I don't know how you replicate that without Joss Whedon.
See, and I'm one of those few people who never got into the show. I only watched the movie. Sorry, Paul, you were about to say
I was just going to say, it's a very winky show. That's
what I've heard, yeah.
The text is very winky. Yeah.
Well, I think the beauty with Buffy, it's a show that no matter where you're coming from, everyone has an affectionate for. It's got a great, just a very.
It's funny you said that.
Fan base.
I was going to say, because and again, I'm not speaking for the show, but I can tell by the fan base and going off of the film. The reason the film worked was a lot like why Revenge of the Nerds works, right? You have this quirky, high concept comedy where you basically have this dim-witted, cheerleader who is the savior of the world, who's supposed to be slaying these vampires, right? That's the gimmick. And it's a one-note joke that shouldn't work, but the reason it works is because it has heart.
Yeah.
Right? You had a really good setup there with a great cast, and the TV show, as far as I know, just expanded upon that with a much more beloved cast beyond the original movie. So yeah,
Joss said he wanted to turn the horror movie trope on its head, where the damsel in distress was suddenly that's
pretty much what it is. Yeah,
and it works. It works really, really well, and it never got into but I don't think modern Hollywood is equipped to tell this story with any kind of nuance. I think it's going to be they're going to take it and they're going to make it like, because it was never a feminist empowerment story, Buffy. It was just a hero who embodied what it meant to be a good person, didn't really nod to gender very, very few times.
Well, if anything, she didn't want the responsibility, right? She just would rather go hang out at the fucking mall. That was the whole joke.
It was a teenager trying to grapple with the responsibility of having to save the world from being sucked into hell. I don't think modern Hollywood can tell this without it being a feminist empowerment, LGBT and all of that other stuff. I guarantee you there will be a Slayer who is trans, who get, because only women can be chosen to be Slayers, and I guarantee you there's going to be one of them that identifies as a woman and was chosen.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
I guarantee you that happens within the first 5 episodes.
Is there a new show? Are you talking about? Is it being?
Oh yeah, no, it's a
they're rebooting it or whatever.
It's a sequel.
It's a TV show.
Yes, it's a sequel series coming to streaming. It's a Hulu original now.
Well, I think it's ironic because Joss has always been known for empowering women characters, notwithstanding his.
Joss is Joss empowers women characters while also like fetishizing them, and
Yes.
like
Yes. So
Joss doesn't actually empower women characters. Joss gets his jollies off in all of the stuff that he does.
Yeah, I
But
mean, it's actually one of my complaints about Firefly, which I'm doing a green light or not episode on. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I liked Buffy. It's fun. I think the thing that made it sustainable was that it was a high school milieu, where it could bring in all sorts of different characters. And again, it was my big complaint about Ms. Marvel, in that the very first episode was a Pakistani girl that found these powers while she was in high school. And I went, oh, this is going to be a South Asian Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And then they blew her up way too big and sent her off to Pakistan to fight evil things. And it's just, this is what streamers can't do. They go, okay, here's the premise. You got the family. We're talking about food, and it was really funny. That first episode, I will always say, of Ms. Marvel is an excellent pilot, and they just completely abandoned it afterwards. If they just had followed the Buffy the Vampire Slayer thing, where she's trying to keep her powers, kind of secret while she's still trying to navigate high school and hormones and everything else, it would have been a fine Disney series.
I agree.
But they screwed it up.
Yep.
They screwed.
And the beautiful thing about Buffy was Buffy as the character was, she was central to the plot, but the ensemble cast really tied it together. The same thing with Angel, because I think Angel, in a lot of ways, was the superior show because there was a lot more character growth on Angel. But it's an ensemble show, and that's kind of where the heart of it comes from.
And the other thing that I liked about Buffy is that she wasn't a reluctant hero. That's one of the things they do now all the time, is that some external force gets your main character motivated. I fucking hate that. No, she wasn't the smartest, the sharpest knife in the drawer, and she, had that kind of cheerleader sensibility. But when it came to leadership and having to do the stuff that needed to be done, she went out and did it without complaint. And she was out saving her friends, and she knew what her powers were. And that to me is something that has been lost in modern writing.
So Sarah Michelle Gellar is back for the new series.
Yeah.
So Sarah Michelle Gellar is back as Buffy, and they haven't made any other former cast announcements, but the girl who played
What, she doing it at an old folks home?
Yeah. The girl who played the girl bossy 11-year-old in Skeleton Crew is like the secondary lead of the show.
This prediction: the show is not going to be good. It's going to play it safe. It's going to be about socially conscious stories and focus on inclusion and representation. That's my prediction.
Well,
play it safe.
One of the characters was a lesbian in one of the in the original series.
One of the first ever open depictions of it, and it was done very well.
It will be much more than that, gentlemen. Trust me. That's my prediction, and I hope everyone bookmarks this video and comes back to it and shows me how wrong I am. Because you know what? In many instances, when I make these predictions, I pray I'm wrong. That's really where I'm at. I'm just a cynic. I'm sorry.
And
do you know the creative people behind this?
Chloe Zhao is the main one that I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why this whole conversation started.
Yeah. You remember how excited we were about Sarah Connor coming back for another Terminator movie, and Jim Cameron was pushing it and telling us how great it was going to be, and then the director started shooting off his mouth, and then we all saw the movie and realized, yep.
No, I had no faith in it, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Speaking of Hamilton, the whole military piece of Stranger Things season 5 is the absolute worst part. Apart from the fact that the cast is kind of walking through all their lines.
Yeah.
They're collecting Social Security, Paul. They can't move that fast.
But you've got a very wrinkly Linda Hamilton leading a crack team of military people that in a in the previous season, you could actually shoot the monsters with your gun and have them kill them, but now suddenly they're bullet sponges and don't die.
For the second, for probably the third season in a row, David Harbour's subplot in Stranger Things is the worst part of the show.
I think the military part is the worst.
He's wrapped up in that.
Okay, I accept your premise. That's right. Anyway, as long as 11 has nothing to do with it, I'm fine. I'm so tired.
Well, that's why I like what they did at the end of part 1 of season 4, because I'm like, now maybe it won't be the 11 show anymore.
It's the Will show now.
Well, this season is pretty much about Will, like it was even before that moment. So,
anyways, I've just jumped the rails here. My apologies.
For real.
Let's keep going through this and then wrap up the show because
I was going to say there wasn't really much else. Paul,
I've got underwear to model.
I figured you did.
Gross.
Yeah, and then Joe Pat pointed out that was the daily box office list. I noticed it, changed it. Thank you for the heads up and the $2, Joe Pat. Appreciate it. And then he points out that Drew Carey once had a blind date with a squirrel. Really?
And probably in a cartoon.
Is that a Richard Gere type date or something else? I'm not sure.
Oh, that was a hamster, I believe.
Oh,
gerbil.
Wow.
Gerbil.
Lemmy winks. Jason Webster says, so Zootopia 2 has 556.4 million globally. Hey, Warner Brothers, you have Bugs, Daffy, Porky, and Foghorn. Give us a Looney Tunes film. We're waiting.
Didn't they just
Jason,
do that?
I hate to break it to you. Yeah, they've done it 4 or 5.
He says good.
True. They've done it 4 or 5 times here in the last few years, and I'm still not convinced that Coyote versus Acme movie is going to do all that great either.
And
so.
I heard that the day the Earth blew up or whatever it was, that Daffy Duck movie was actually good. I haven't gotten a chance to see it.
Heard the same.
I tried watching it, couldn't get very far into it, which says a lot for me.
When I was a kid, I had this VHS of all different Christmas specials that my dad taped off of TV, and one of them I've been trying to like recompile all of them and like find them in various places because some of them are pretty hard to find. One of them was the Bugs Bunny Christmas Carol, and so I found it and I was watching it and I was listening to Mel Blanc and just like, oh, it was so good. I was just like, man, I miss this.
Hey, I went to the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. They were playing an entire evening of Carl Stalling music. Cool. That was insanely good. And
yeah, I mean, Jason,
the musicians were happy not doing Tchaikovsky and Brahms and everything else.
I hate to break it to you, though. The Looney Tunes, the last time they had a hit was 30 years ago.
Space Jam 1? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that was all because of Michael Jordan. I mean, let's keep it real.
Yes, 100% because of
acting skills.
Even though you could probably make an argument for Looney Tunes Back in Action being a better film, or at least a better Looney Tunes movie, it tanked at the box office. Space Jam 2 was rejected flat out, and for good reason. The Day the Earth Blew Up pretty much bombed at the box office, but I guess Ketchup Entertainment made enough money off it that they decided to spend the money on Coyote versus Acme. Now, that could surprise me. Yeah. That movie might do well, but I'm not going to hold out any hope. Ketchup Entertainment, yeah. That's what they're called.
I prefer the sugar-free Ketchup Entertainment.
Right.
Low sugar.
Pack and Proton says, see, my question worked. Ask it on your favorite YouTube shows and see what kind of response you get. There you go.
Was that the Lola Bunny question?
That? Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Which one?
The Lola Bunny question. I don't know what his what his goal was with asking the question, but apparently it worked whatever it was.
Because you didn't pay attention to what she looked like. You were treating her like a sex object is evidently his point, I believe.
Gotcha.
Okay. Shadow Dancer the Red Mage sends in a member chat to say Avatar 3 Merc pre-ordered, A3 game expansion pre-ordered. I'm brushing up on my Navi language. I'm in line for the only movie this year that I'm waiting to see. Well, I'm glad to hear you're a fan. I'm sure it has some
I've
fans
ever heard
out
anyone
there,
be passionate about this.
Oh, there's a lot of us. So tonight the social embargo lifts right after basically we see the film, but then our review can't come out till the 16th. So social media reaction tonight on that Avatar. Fire and Ash.
So you can put out your plugs that'll be on the movie trailer where it'll say Polly of Latino Slant says Avatar, Fire and Water and Ash and whatever.
Well, they'll probably quote Rosa, not me.
Rosa says that Avatar blew her brains out. That's what they
Chato
want.
says,
And they'll put
See
it
it
on
in
the poster.
IMAX twice. Yeah.
Paul Chato, I shitted my underwear.
I didn't
I'm in a
change either.
car. Sorry, Paul.
You
what'd
didn't
say?
change between screenings, huh?
That's what I said. Yeah. I didn't change my underwear.
Well, that's not because the movie excited him. It's because he didn't go to the fucking bathroom for 3 hours and he's old. That's why he shit his pants.
I need about 5 bathroom breaks on a 3-hour movie.
You know what? I am glad to hear, now that you bring that up, speaking of Kill Bill, they actually have an intermission in there. Thank fuck.
What they need is a countdown to intermission for those of us who are
right. No shit. Well, I can kind of pretty much figure where the intermission is going to come. Probably where the break of Kill Bill 1 and 2 would be.
Yeah, probably.
You're
Does she
right,
know that her
yeah.
daughter? Does she know that her daughter is alive?
That's not in the whole bloody affair. Actually, Marvin,
It's not.
No, that was shot. Well, there's a scene there, but it's different. And we don't know that in the whole bloody affair, the original version. We don't know that as the audience until she finds out in the movie.
Interesting.
Because, and that's the thing where I've always said that the movie works better as 2 films, because the first half of the film, or the first movie, is her telling a recap of what she's gone through. And then you realize that once you catch up, that second film is all in real time, happening as we're going along, you know. So, like, that is why I like that split up there, because otherwise it's going to get a little jarring for some people. I don't think they're going to realize that, okay, now we're flipped into part 2, unless that's what the intermission's going to do for us. Because that part where she says that at the beginning of part 2 comes at the beginning of the film in the whole bloody affair, where she says, I'm on my way to kill Bill, basically. But anyway,
when I get there, I'm going to kill Bill. So the movie doesn't catch up until she actually is on her way to Bill's house. Then after she meets with the guy who was like, I would have just cut your face, or whatever he said.
Yeah, it's a big reveal for the audience at the end, but he left it as a cliffhanger. In the first one, I think they just changed some dialogue there.
Right.
And basically, I can't remember exactly what the original one was, because I've only seen like bootleg copies of it. So yeah.
We haven't finished the box office. We should change this to Midnight's Edge HD ADHD.
It is. Well, we did kind of finish the box office. All the stuff was.
What was the total for the? What was the total for?
Oh, the total for the weekend was.
I'm gonna cross my arms and look down on talking nerd stuff.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
I don't have a total here, actually.
We're supposed to be here till the edge of midnight, right? Is that what we're doing?
Thought we were going to talk about the thesis statement that I had turned in on the 1985 TV Guide edition that I did.
Hey, Paul, do you have like a plastic Latino that takes care of your plastic plant behind you?
I mean, you know, listen. I do a lot of my own cleaning. Well, I do clean. I don't clean as well as Romy does. She'll come in and just re-clean anything that I fucking try to keep clean.
You went for the low blow with the plastic plant.
Yeah.
My wife would
not derailing the show, Paulie. Everything behind me, actually, there is a lot of plastic shit on the show.
Looks like 185 million for the total for the weekend, Paul.
Yeah, it was like 33%.
Yeah, all of it's
negative from last year.
Mostly, but yeah.
So 185 million. I mean, what percentage of that was all Zootopia? I mean, that had to be like,
I think over 30%.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's good. It just wasn't as good as last year.
No, it wasn't. You're right.
Yeah.
Which Wicked
actually
led
closer
the
to
charge.
40.
Yeah.
Well, Wicked had, you know, wicked marketing behind it. Wicked smart.
Well, to you know, if anything, is a good weekend, good 2 weeks for movie theaters at least.
Correct. So how long can they keep this going? Probably till January, and that's about it.
The better things go for movie theaters, the better things go for the industry as a whole. And, you know, it's what we've said over and over and over again, or some of us have at least said it, that it's not a problem with the movie theaters. Yes, pricing is an issue, but if you put something out that people want to see, people will go to see it. I think there is definitely something to be said about, you know, the cost when it comes to people going to, you know, smaller films, because, you know, who's going to make the investment to go see, you know, something they're not passionate about. But still, I think it's a good thing all around when it is good box office.
Yeah, I mean, I've maintained for a while, as much as we gripe and piss and moan about the pricing of tickets and stuff, it's still one of the cheapest things you can do on a date or as a family, right? Like I said, try to go to a ball game or try to go to a concert, try to go to
Right.
just
So
about
much worse, yeah.
anything else. I mean, even going to a smaller theme park and shit or to the fair for the weekend can cost you a fortune now comparatively. But
So
I get it.
what wrong lessons do you think Hollywood's going to learn from for the last 2 weeks? Because I think there's two. I think it's Cynthia Erivo is a movie star, and sequel.
No. Sorry, I was meant for my dog.
No, I get. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what other lessons they could learn other than things like Wicked are a bad lesson for them to learn. Zootopia.
Well, I think we've seen the beginning of a trend that we're going to see. We actually are going to see more streaming movies in the theater first or alongside things. I think the final episode of Stranger Things that they're going to be showing on the 31st of December, I believe,
Can't wait.
is going to be mammoth.
I can't wait.
And that's the kind of thing that says thank you to the audience. It's the kind of stuff that we need to have. And I think Netflix is going to change its mind with regards to the absolute no theater go, especially with K-pop Demon Hunter. This Stranger Thing experiment, I think, is going to be mammoth.
We think about
we've been
this.
talking about that for a while, Paul, that the next thing for Netflix is to finally realize that theaters is where some instant cash is, and it's a good advertising platform.
They know it. You're absolutely right, Tom. And you know, think about the tour directors have had their new films out with Netflix.
Del Toro,
right? Del Toro and Johnson with the Knives Out. You know, he's got his fans. Whatever. They're both like have been, you know, banging the drum. See our film on on screen. See it on screen. Created this little movement. Frankenstein was big, right? As far as, you know, getting a lot of people to see it in theater, which I totally recommend you do. But that was all, you know, on purpose. That's all on purpose.
Well, yeah, and you saw
there's no way they're gonna sign a deal and say to Netflix, hey, but you know, you're not gonna, I'm gonna raise hell if you don't put it in the theaters. Oh no, we're gonna put it in theaters. Please raise hell.
Yeah, you saw like Liz Olsen and all of them were saying they're not going to do any movies that aren't going to be released in theaters and stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of actors who are jumping on that as well.
Well, that's a different argument.
And the thing is, it costs almost nothing to put it in the theaters because no one is bicycling film from one place to another. There's no insurance that they have to put on the film.
Right.
It's a broadcast from a satellite that goes to the theater where they stick it on a hard drive and then digitally project it. There's practically no cost to this, which I don't understand why they wouldn't do it.
Did I just say Del Toro's Johnson?
No, you said Del Toro and Johnson.
But on that note, Jason Webster
you'd be
says,
the only person who would have seen Del Toro's Johnson amongst us.
The Jason Webster says the Wicked for Good press tour was more disturbing than Del Toro's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Speaking of Arrivato,
my co-host Kevin Apollo
and Ariana Grande, her lunch, in other words, who should be kept away from strong winds, right?
Well, Ariana Grande's apparently according to TMZ, her press attaches are now trying to keep this that particular event under wraps and trying to get past it. Ariana Grande did not like how she was portrayed in the press regarding that crazy.
Yeah, so that's why. Okay, because I was curious who pulled the plug on this. I'm like, this makes no sense for somebody at Universal to pull the plug on.
No, it sounds like Ariana Grande's press people.
That makes more sense to me. Thank you, Paul. Because I'm like going, wait a minute here. This is something they lean into. They're like, fucking yay, this is, press gold.
But I think Universal was like, yeah, good move, because I think Arrivo is a jilted ex-lover.
Mm-hmm.
And she was acting a little too like, yo, baby, come, let's get back together. I'll protect you from this Asian bully. I got you.
When she tried to shove the guy away from her, but it looked like Mr. Burns attacking Principal Skinner.
I mean, that's how an ex acts. Come on, I protect you, baby.
And the guy tapped Ariana on the arm, and
Oh, and she ripped the
it.
guy's arm away and started
Did
rubbing
you
her
see
arm.
that video? Is hilarious where she's just
Well,
like
I
with the
know
evil
that
eyes.
something was up. Yeah, I knew
What
something was
Tom?
up when. Well, I knew something was up when Cynthia got COVID, wasn't it? No, she lost her voice.
She lost her
and
voice.
Ariana got COVID all at the same time. And I'm like, wait a minute. And so they'll no longer be able to be on the press tour. I'm like, somebody put the kibosh on this. But I'm like, nobody at Universal would have, because this is gold for them. They got to love this at Universal itself, because this is just helping to sell Wicked.
First, it was Cynthia lost her voice and Ariana was standing down in solidarity.
That's
and then
what it was.
Then it was Ariana got COVID. But
shit! So you know what Cynthia meant when she said she lost her voice? She didn't mean physically. She meant they're taking my voice away.
That's
I
right.
can't speak
You
anymore on
nailed
the
it.
press tour. Yeah.
The memes have been just chef's kiss for all of this. Like,
You don't lose your voice when you have a steady supply of adrenochrome. So we knew that.
Not only that, she's a Broadway star. You don't think she hasn't figured out 510 ways to fix your voice? Yeah.
Herbal tea. Come on.
Look at these two actors a couple of years ago, right?
Mhm.
They're both pretty healthy looking. And
Michelle
now
Yeoh got like deathly
they look
skinny during this,
terrible,
too.
man.
I think that's what the strong winds comment there from Jason is about.
One of my favorite memes, it was the scene from Mickey and the Beanstalk where they're like cutting like the tiniest little sliver of bread and like the little tiny sliver of bean, and it's like lunch on the Wicked set. But the video that I loved the most though was there's this guy and he's talking to Ariana about like in the darkest times of his life, like her music was what got him through those times and helped him to like put his life back on track. And she's so moved by it. She's like, "Oh my God, can I hug you?" And she comes over and she hugs him. And as she's hugging him, Cynthia Erivo is glaring at this guy, just shooting daggers at him.
And in that video, someone like did a close up. They like went right to Erivo, and she's like,
"They should play the Kill Bill,
bro."
Yes.
Now, I have a question to all you fans of Wicked. Wicked, and this is not meant as a race question, but do you think from now on, even with or without Cynthia, that the witch is going to have to be portrayed by a black actress?
Right now on when I just saw it on Broadway, it was a white lady.
Oh, okay. No, I was just curious whether there was a no turning back moment now.
No.
I wondered the same thing, but so the main lady that was playing it was a black lady, but I saw the understudy, who I think might be the main lady now because she was unbelievable, but it was a white lady. So,
this is off topic, but did you guys see the Claudia Black excuse for her not being in Ahsoka season 2?
They won't pay her, that they won't give her money, right?
The single mom thing that she threw out.
I
saw that they don't want to pay enough for a single mom to be able to afford to go.
The one that went to England, who's
shooting
in England.
I pointed out none of the articles, all the Star Wars websites, none of them were pointing this one little factoid out.
Tell me.
She has 2 boys, ages 18 and 20. So I don't know why she's saying single mom.
Did she say that?
Yes.
Chris, can you please
wait? Is that how she doesn't have any other younger kids?
Nope.
Chris,
And
can you please link me to this article, because I have to cover this today and I want to link to you.
I will.
But they are both still breastfeeding.
You're probably not wrong.
They are of working age and their dad lives in LA too. So it's not like, if they need a babysitter, dad's around, and
the only reason she's not probably getting child support is probably because she makes a hell of a lot more than he does. That's why.
I have one of the stars, actors of The Unexpected's coming on my show today, John Kaler. And I'm going to talk to him about this because I'm like, these guys are real actors, the Kalers and all these guys like grinding it out. And he's a SAG actor. Is that the freaking what's the word I'm looking for when you're expecting something?
Pregnant,
anticipating,
expectation.
Yeah, like when you're used to something, you're expecting. I'm sorry, my mind just lost me with Claudia because. And we talked about this before, Tommy.
To it?
The business isn't what it used to be 20 years ago.
Entitled.
Thank you.
There you go. Okay.
She was entitled and making good bank back in the day. That doesn't exist anymore.
No.
And she's not important enough in this freaking show to where they
especially
could justify it.
especially with the makeup. Most of the people, when this news came out, were like, I didn't know Claudia Black was on that show.
No,
Correct.
neither did I.
Right.
And here's the other
Right.
thing. And for those who don't know, Claudia Black kind of made her big
Which
debut,
character
I think,
was
in
it?
Pitch Black, if that's right. So she's a great actress from Australia originally. But the other thing that I found interesting is she's got this Spartacus sequel spinoff
She's got a
show,
lot of work.
but she doesn't have anything else beyond that in the pipeline that we know about. And she's already done all her shooting for Spartacus.
But I want you to understand something. All this, she's been making money off this.
Yeah.
As far as, the older the shows are, the more residuals they're still making. And then she's going to her Comic-Cons. She's making that cash.
Yeah.
Well,
she
probably was. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just think she was angling. I think she was using the single mom thing to kind of get a little sympathy.
That kind of bothers me as somebody who's a single father and actually struggled to feed my kid. And Paulie, just allow me for a moment. Like,
absolutely.
I mean, I know it's expensive to live in LA and to be an actor and do those kind of things. I get it. But I'm sorry, I have zero fucking sympathy for an actress who is a working actress, mind you, saying that she can't afford to take care of her grown kids. Boo fucking who?
Yeah, she could have kept that out. She could have kept that little.
Yeah, that if
bit
anything
out.
just makes me go.
No, she should have just shut the fuck up and go and wait. If you are not agreeing to the money they're offering you, then they're going to cast local. They're going to cast in England. Bye-bye.
You're also
And
you're
Tom's
also under
absolutely right.
You're under 1 million pounds of makeup, so they can easily recast this role, and
But
no one
what
would probably even
happened
notice.
Yeah.
But
She
what
was
happened
my
is that she
favorite
probably-
character. Fuck off.
She probably
Paulie
just paid
finished.
more in a season 1.
Yeah.
And then they've tightened the purse strings.
Right.
Big time.
Chato knows all about this with his people. They tightened the purse strings. You like that? Like that?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, come on.
like it.
Come on. Listen, they tightened the purse strings and they said this is all we can offer you. They did the same thing
We
to
needed
Jimmy
to find a
Smith.
Mexican.
Jimmy Smith said fuck off, and they got Ben Bratt for Andor.
Timo
It's
version,
interesting too what Disney is spending on their Star Wars stuff. I know you guys saw that information that they spent $700 million on Andor and only made back 300 and something.
Yeah.
And where do they figure that? That's my question too.
Where did they make anything back?
Here's
Exactly.
Well, it's Parrot Analytics that figures out the subscription churn because people like to tap out at the end of the finale. They watch these subscriptions drop off. They watch new subscriptions come in. So they're measuring churn. But I see your point, Tom.
Yeah,
because it's
that's the thing. It's like,
Byzantine.
what fucking numbers are you talking about? Like, and this is what I've been asking for years. And I'm not yelling at you, obviously. I'm just saying, like, this whole thing with like we're making money off of streaming is fucking bullshit fugazi. I've been saying this since day fucking one. When you're selling your entire catalog or a good portion of your catalog every month for the same price that I can go and buy a movie for on Blu-ray and have forever, you're not making any fucking money. There's just no fucking way. And then when you're spending as much money on one season of a show as you did the entire run of a show back in the day, none of this makes fiscal sense.
Well,
You are literally turned into the underwear gnomes at this point. You're like, where's this magic fucking profit? Where? Because you're not selling advertising. You're not selling shit. You're just selling.
No one's talking about the show. No one's watching the show.
Yeah.
You're
absolutely
ads.
right. I mean, it looked beautiful, but who?
They're
gives a
starting to
fuck?
sell ads now.
Yeah, they
but
do
like
have
before.
an ad-based, right? But they just raised the
Sure.
prices again in October.
Listen,
Look,
it's been documented that
piece of shit.
it's been documented that Lucasfilm went haywire with spending money on their TV shows, the Star Wars TV shows.
Yeah.
The Acolyte, all the toxic sets, the overspending. So the fallout is that if you're an actor who's used to being a guest star to a series regular, sorry, but you're not Rosario Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
That's who we got to pay,
Right.
and everyone else is going to get paid scale.
Yeah.
And scale is different than it was 5-10 years ago.
If you consider the fact also that they spent $700 million on Andor, if they had done a second season of The Acolyte, it probably would have gotten up there for that as well,
Same.
because
Yeah.
The Acolyte cost
Or
about
close.
$300 million for season 1.
Yeah,
Yep.
very close at least. And to me, you look at Andor and the money was there. I mean, you could see that it looked great, but you don't spend that kind of money on a
When
Disney
it's
Plus show.
24 episodes too, right? So that's
That's
a
true.
lot.
Yeah, and
That's
so
a
2
lot.
episodes, that's a movie. I mean, you could
Mhm.
justify it all kinds of ways and recut it a little bit and make it a little more understandable. But again, it is streaming only. And I don't understand. Tom's made this point multiple times. So has Paul. And I've joined this chattering chorus about putting the movie in theaters, getting per person payments. They're paying triple what your monthly bill is for the subscription. You're going to get at least half of that from the theater. It just makes no sense. It's almost like they don't want you to know what the viewership numbers are.
Well,
Huh?
no, they don't, because at that point, because that's what I was saying, is like you got to sit down and figure out the fractions of the amount of money. Like, say you pay $20 a month or $29 a month for one of these services, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you watch, I don't know, fucking 300 things in a matter of a month. That 300 things that you watch, that's where all that money you just spent on there is going to have to get spread out for all the little things, right? So that's where I'm sitting here going, where is the fucking money for this? Where is that, where Disney or Warner Brothers or anybody's grabbing this big, and Warner Brothers kind of, they've accepted defeat and said, look, HBO Max is basically just HBO extra. We're going to show everything we show on HBO Max is going to be on HBO. There's no more of this exclusivity bullshit. And once they start to realize that the streaming is television / end of the line, then they'll be smart again, because they got to realize that the theaters, you got to have movies play in theaters for at least 3 months. If you don't, they're not going to make any fucking money. Okay. And then from there, you got to have at least another 3-month window for people to build up anticipation to where when the video comes out, like you got to have a good 6-month window. And if a movie plays like Zootopia, then you sit there and you go, oh no, that movie's not coming out this year on video. Sorry, kids.
Demon
It's just
Slayer.
not. Demon Slayer, they should have done it. Like, same thing with streaming. It should not be on streaming till at least a year or two after the movie has come out.
The makers of Demon Slayer is like, you're not seeing this on DVD or streaming until next year.
Yeah.
That's how you got to do it. You're right, Tom. And you going back to this Andor thing, it's like they knew what they had with the 24 episodes, especially with the second season. You know what, guys? Let's do appointment television, but then the last 3 episodes, let's make it into a movie and release in the theaters for a month. That would have been baller.
Well,
that would have been a great move.
And their other
because-
excuse.
The massive
Oh,
Japanese.
finish. Sorry, Paul. I thought you were done.
No. That's it. Go for it, bro.
No, I was saying, the other problem they have here is that, well, it's just, anyway, it's stupid. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead and finish.
No. I was just saying that you spent so much money. You and the thing is that what you have because of the editing process and the final cut, right? Is that what the last three episodes are so cinematic. Gilroy broke this up into, was it 3 or 4 little mini movies, Chato?
I think so.
Season 2. That last one, the last 3 episodes was just, it's like that should have been its own little Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I need to watch
Think
it.
out of the
I
box.
haven't watched it, yeah.
Think out of the box. Get that sucker up on the theaters.
This can't be an original idea, though, Paulie. You know what I mean? There's got to be somebody in the studio that is advocating for that sort of model or something similar
It's
to
been
what you or
done.
Tom or.
X-Files did it.
Yep.
X-Files did in between season 4 and 5. It was, and you had to watch the movie because
That's a good point. That's a great point.
Yeah, it was in
They could
between.
even Disney could even make it where during the credits, stick around for a special message at the end of the credits for an offer to watch the next 3 episodes for free if you're not a member or whatever. Right? We've talked about that sort
You
of
would have
thing.
made some money in the theater, Tom.
They've
That's all I'm
just
saying.
got to get some serendipity going with the way they do things.
I think part of the challenge is that they're kind of stuck thinking that they're still competing with each other in the old way, where they're getting the movies in and seeing who's got the biggest box office, and then the streaming has made them very competitive with each other in a weird psychotic way.
Yeah.
I think all the studios have to get together, talk to each other, and go, We all need to make the business more fun for the audience. What can we do just as a group to support entertainment as an idea? Because we're not entertaining people anymore. We have projected this complete lack of fun to the audience. Hollywood no longer represents fun. And I think the stuff that you're talking about is exactly what they need, is that kind of meeting audience expectations, exceeding expectations. It's not enough to make popcorn buckets. And
those are already falling off, yeah.
Yeah, but again, the Demon Hunter sing-along is an exact example of how they can bring audiences back.
Minecraft did similar thing too, yeah.
And Minecraft, yeah. And so there's the competitive side. They all want to be the winners at the end of the year for who's the, had the most box office. We all get it, but you've completely lost the plot in terms of Hollywood as a brand.
Yes.
You need to get back together again, repair the brand, and that will help all of you.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Paul, because I think what you're getting at is that movies are no longer movies anymore. They're basically an extension of this, that, and the other, because there's nothing special about them, and like they used to be. And this is what I said about when Disney Plus made the mistake of putting everything, or when he never actually did it, but when Bob Iger said everything is going to be on Disney Plus, I'm like, you fucking moron. Once you killed the vault, you killed the value of all those films. You just put Little Mermaid right next to Little Mermaid 2 and 3 in the fucking TV show and the remake now, making that first one worthless because it's not a movie anymore. It's not something that's special.
He thought that people would rush to Disney Plus because they had this proprietary library. It's not the way it worked.
No. And the other excuse they have as well is to get away from pirating. And like Andre will be the first to point out, all it's done is help pirating.
Oh, yeah.
Because now, instead of having to wait 3, 4, 5 months for a semi-decent cam copy of a movie in most cases, you got an HD 4K quality copy in less than 30 days in most cases now. So that's not helping you.
You got it day and date it hits streaming, that's for sure.
I'll tell you right now, I hate to tell you this, guys, but guess what? Predator Badlands is out there in a 1080p copy.
Wow. It's like nowadays the only big hits though have to be these franchise IPs, big budget diversions like an amusement park procedural, structured like a video game. The movies have to be big events with spectacle that are gonna lure adults like us away from their remote control 60-inch
They're becoming
TVs.
too disposable. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fight for overpriced popcorn and sticky seats with no pause button.
Which is also why they need two-tier pricing in the theaters. Here's your blockbuster pricing, and here's your independent movie pricing.
Well, they're kind of already getting there with the premium screens, right, Paul? Like you kind of already have it, and this is where I can't believe they haven't thought
pushed
about
it up, but they haven't dropped it down. It's like Ford and all these companies getting rid of their nice, cheap, small cars and only selling SUVs because they have the biggest margin.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
And so now the problem is that even seniors can't get a good new cheap car. So it's volume. It really is about volume. You need volume to make something not universal. What's the word? An event, a water cooler event, whatever you want to call it.
The monoculture type thing, yeah.
So while I completely agree with you that movies are still the cheapest entertainment, we need to have millions of people coming into the theaters.
Oh yeah.
Just so we have more people talking about the same thing.
And they can't blame everything on competition anymore. That's the thing I don't like.
Oh, absolutely.
Movies have faced all sorts of competition for 100 years now.
Absolutely.
They just need to, like you just were saying, and I agree with you 100%, and this is probably the best place to wrap it up with a bow, is they just need to find ways of innovating, of getting the audience back in there, entertaining them, whether it's through means of sing-alongs and things that Minecraft did by being interactive, or whether it's by ways of, creating movie stars again, which is the main thing they got to start figuring out, and then also making these events again to where the biggest problem we have now is the number one thing I hear from most people is, I ask them, did you go see a certain movie? And they're like, no, I'll just wait for it to be on Netflix.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And they don't have to wait long. So why wouldn't they? Right. Like, there's no incentive to wait. Or there's no incentive not to wait. Sorry. That's what I meant.
Yep.
And then Drew Tipton says, what Marvin doesn't understand is people want to visit Pandora and get an 8-foot warrior wife. Hostile environment be damned.
Yeah, you're
He's into
right.
them big bitches.
I wasn't thinking about that.
He wants an Amazonian woman.
That's right.
It's painter blue, sir.
At Brannigan, the flesh is willing, but the spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and weak.
Drew, I want love now.
I just want to be a bullet sponge.
Bullets.
Yeah.
Jason Webster says Wicked for Good press tour was more disturbing. Oh, we read this one. We got this.
That one.
I read it out of order. That was my
Oh,
fault.
that was so weird, dude. I thought like I had come back and you guys were done streaming and it was on a repeat because I'm like, wait a minute,
Oh,
you
shit.
you just read that.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I'm like,
Acid
how did my thing go into a
flashback.
repeat? Yeah, acid flashback. Yeah, Joe Pat says in past life, Eternity would have been a major high concept studio release. In present day, it's merely an indie flick. Yes,
That's true.
and this is where if they reinvented the movie star, they could have sold Eternity as a vehicle for somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah,
in the
Human
90s or the
dramas.
aughts, a movie with that concept makes a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's agreed.
The human dramas, though, they're afraid to. I mean, they're moving to television now. I just don't think they're going to sell that well. But they have reinvented the movie star. Have you heard of Tilly Norwood? She's
So there's so
They
many
literally
ways to
invented a movie star.
there's so many ways to pick at this Eternity, Tom and Chato, because they are still making good films.
Yes.
But the studio leadership, they're so they got no balls to let's put money in the marketing for those movies and let's do it correctly and let's be in tandem with the marketing teams. That's another thing that this Warner Brothers executive says is that they're not.
oh, Warner Brothers marketing is one of the worst.
Yeah.
That's one thing I will not give like that. I'll be real blunt about that. They are one of the worst. And I've been saying that for a while. They need to fire almost everybody in there between that's doing a lot of the marketing over there. And I think that's part of the reason why they keep hiring the team that did Barbie because they
Well, my point has
It
always
sucks.
been start connecting with all the YouTubers in the entertainment side, and that's pretty much free entertainment. You don't have to spend much to promote a movie. Get everybody interviewing all the actors and directors and things like that online on a release.
You're not wrong, Paul, because at this point, there's not enough of a network for
No.
something like Entertainment Tonight or even E as a network.
Yeah, or Good Morning America. I mean, you
Even
can only
that,
do
yeah.
that once, and they don't repeat. You can't go back to it. It's not evergreen. No, they don't get it. They really need to spread the marketing across the 100 or so top comment or movie people commenting on YouTube, and they'd get much bigger bang for the buck.
Yeah, and then Joe Pat says Rental Family with Brendan Fraser is more thoroughly a proper indie flick. Well,
Yeah, I want to see that. I'm anxious to see that.
And they're very aware of you guys. And Tom knows this.
They
They're
don't like
very
us.
aware of this new media.
And they're
They
not
don't like
making
us,
use
though.
of it, Paulie, right?
Yes and no, yeah. But it's
Some they are,
they're
but-
no longer ignoring it.
They still don't like us. But Action Com says, did Sisu 2 tank? Relative to what I think the movie's expectations are at the end of the day, I don't think so. I think the movie will probably do fine in ancillary sales. It was probably prepaid for through a streaming deal because Sony put it out, I think. So yeah, they probably sold it to, what was it, Netflix, I think they have a deal with.
the
So I
budget
think
was
it'll do
12
okay.
million. So I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
Through video sales alone, it'll probably break even after the box office take, which will not be enough to break even, but it's one of those, it's small enough budget. It'll do really well on streaming. And they already probably made a deal, which probably paid that $12 million. They probably made a $22 million deal with like Netflix or something like that, or $24 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
Where it's
wouldn't
probably
surprise me.
paid
That goes back to sort of what you were addressing about pre-sale.
Yep.
But so
And in fact-
far, worldwide gross is still just under 8 million. So it does need to stay in theaters for a couple of weeks for sure.
Yeah. Pack and Proton says a bit behind, but the point of the bunny question was to see how confused and uncomfortable weird out the host gets. Get some fun reactions. Well, it didn't help that a lot of us hadn't seen it, but
Achievement unlocked. Packing
Like
Proton.
the fun reaction of YouTube hitting pro with a copyright strike because you made us watch Birdemic.
I always find both sides of the whole like fictional drawn characters, whether they're a cartoon or comic character or anything like that, I just find it stupid on both sides of the equation because it's like they're fictional characters, in the words of Ben Affleck and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I mean, who gives a shit if somebody objectifies them at the end of the day? And on the other side of it,
Was Thor objectified? I mean, come on.
why are you creating a character that can be
100%.
that objectifiable, I guess? Like, I mean, at the same time, like, what the fuck's the difference? If they're not a real human being and then they're not standing for like something that objectifying them is against, if that makes sense. I mean, we got on this kind of thing, the whole thing kind of talked about Jessica Rabbit, right? And her whole catchphrase is,
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
I mean, come on. I mean,
Come on, which is the exact reason Marvin was making why it shouldn't be live action, Jesse.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, come on.
that's kind of the appeal, right? Jessica Rabbit is literally the exaggeration of everything sexualized in a woman.
Yeah, she's a film noir stereotype.
She has big ass boobs, no waist, and big ass hips. And she's tall and she has long ass legs. She's a redhead. All the things that you want out of that classic type of style, like you said, noir.
Forgot she's a redhead. That means in the live action movie she'll be black.
That's true.
Right. All the reasons that Disney kept her at arm's length.
And they were aware of what they were doing with her. In fact, do you want to know why Jessica Rabbit works as a cartoon and she's not so realistic? It's because they couldn't figure out for a little bit. They're like, well, the problem is she's too realistic. We need to come up with something. Her gravity is reversed. So if you watch, when her boobs bounce, they bounce the opposite way of what a normal woman's would.
That's
exactly how they did her.
I don't want to know how you know that.
I am seeing
The animators.
I'm seeing more than ever this holiday season. The Black Santa popping up everywhere. Like it was Universal, Disney, they've all got Black Santa. And I'm like, that's really weird that this is suddenly so prevalent. And then I watched Santa Claus is Coming to Town and saw the origin story. He's a redhead. So there you go. Another redhead recap.
They don't like redheads, but anyhow.
The most marginalized people in Hollywood.
Yep.
They are, technically. And then we got Jason Webster again, who says, we now live in an era where popcorn buckets are better than Hollywood blockbusters they're promoting. Well, they were, but as I noticed, they're starting to taper off. And not only that, a few other people, and myself included, have noticed that a lot of these theaters are selling this shit at discount now because they can't get rid of it. So all this merchandise that they were that was making them all sorts of money last year. Marvin knows what I'm talking because I'm seeing him shaking his head. They can't sell it now. Like I bought a bunch of crap for next to nothing
at my Regal to get to the snack stand. You have to walk through just like the aisle of misfit popcorn buckets and merchandise. Like it just everything from the last year that has been the Smurfs everywhere. Like
do they have a Galactus discount popcorn?
no, those.
I don't know if they
sold.
discounted those yet. Yeah,
I think those all sold.
Yeah, they had some other Fantastic Four stuff at the one place I went, but like, I mean, I had everything from like Jaws stuff to Superman stuff to all sorts of stuff all across the whole board. So it's like, obviously they're not selling the stuff like they used to. Yeah. And then Darth Maul's lower half is here and he says, for Chris, thanks for acknowledging the section. Oh, Paul had to leave. So sorry, Paul, check out his channel. I forgot, I didn't see him say he was
Call me Chato.
Yeah, I have to go, gang. Sorry, I didn't see that. Sorry, Paul. I was trying to read the super chats. He says, thanks for acknowledging the intersectional feminism in For All Mankind. All the women are super femmes, and all the men are serious flaws, or have serious flaws. Yes, that's what I meant to say. Bad temper, drinking and cheating, murderous and jealousy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It is. Barry the Music Man says, fix Hollywood is no ugly people, no message, no gay.
I like ugly people and gay people are fine, but no message.
Actually, you know what? Anymore, it's almost refreshing just to see a regular gay character.
Yeah. Right.
Yep. A character whose entire character arc doesn't rest around the fact of who they want to sleep with.
Just that, and they're not trans or some other kind of different part of the scenario in there. Like a regular gay character anymore is just like, oh my God. finally, we just got a regular gay character now again.
The only message movie like movie that was heavily into the message what that has succeeded in the last several years is probably Barbie, and even then it's because it was based on a super popular IP and more people started to see Barbie as the villain and Ken as the
the
victim
movie's
in that
message
movie, and
was
it pissed
muddled.
them all off. Yeah,
right? Like the movie's, and I've said this and I stand by it. The movie could have been fixed had they just cut out that whole last section and just had Barbie go, you know what? I don't want to be a stewardess. I don't want to be a president. I don't want to be this or that, all the different Barbies. I just want to be a mom.
Yeah.
Because I said nobody else seemed to notice or pay attention to the fact that there's no kids in Barbie land, and everybody makes a joke out of what's her face who's pregnant, right? Midge or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, wouldn't that have been basically the same?
Tom?
Yeah, that's the problem, is they made it more about giving her a fucking vagina than her actually just going, you know what? Maybe I just want to be a mom. Because that's what the character she was attached to was, right? And that was her whole struggle. I'm like, that cleans up your whole end of your movie. You don't need this 5-minute long fucking speech that doesn't mean anything. You don't need to make your hero look like a villain, because yeah, you're right, Marvin. Ken is pretty much the hero in the movie. He keeps getting shit on, and he's pretty much proven right on every turn.
Yeah, the Kens are an oppressed populace who rise up against their oppressors and are then cast back down into oppression, and that's the happy ending.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is they don't even acknowledge the fact that all the Barbies are more than willing to bend over backwards to become, what Ken wants them to be molded into being. It's like you're missing your message, or you're mixing your message up with other things, and I think you missed it, and you could have fixed it real easy. But yeah, no, there's always a place for messaging, but I think the point we're getting at here is it's the right time, the right place.
Yeah.
And how many indie films and how many of these smaller movies do we have all the time? Paulie knows what I'm talking about. Where back in the day, that's all they were about, was gay couples and gay love and trans this and that and the other. And that's fine. Nobody had a problem with those. Hell, one of my favorite musicals is called Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Do you know what that movie's about? It's about a guy who had a botched sex change operation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what it's about. I love it. It's hilarious as fuck. But at that point, when it came out, it wasn't in everything, right? Like, and that's what made that movie and that play initially musical unique. But now it's like you're just shoving it in places it doesn't belong anymore. So that I will agree with Barry the Music Man. But anyway, you were going to say something, Paulie. It looked like. Oh, you were just commenting on Hedwig and the Angry Inch?
No, I totally get what you're saying, man. It just was as if the stories were as if.
And if you have not seen Hedwig and the Angry Inch, do yourself a favor. Just for the music alone, it's worth it. And with that, we got one more super chat, and then I got to check over on the Rumble side because I have not checked up lately on that. I apologize.
I didn't
Bucky
know
Cat.
this.
What was that? Sorry.
I didn't know this. I was just reading the chat.
Zissou got screwed because theaters pushed their show times to 10 p.m. Our tickets were canceled. Oh, I did not know that. Were canceled, and we were told to reschedule to 10 p.m. They were pushing Wicked into Sisu slots. Oh.
Theater owners knew what was selling more.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. And unfortunately, they weren't selling enough tickets at that slot. And probably more fortunately that Sony allowed them to get out of that original slot.
Wow,
because a lot of times those are like those screens are generally like they're very specific for what you have to keep in for. That's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And then Pack and Proton says Pro is going to do Pandemic again.
Birdemic.
Not going to get
Birdemic.
Oh, Birdemic again. Not going to get out of it. So, oh no.
We're gonna try again, but we'll see.
Love it.
Oh man, I never sat through that whole thing. I seen like a little bit of it, and I'm just like, nope, no Birdemic for me. And with that, let me check the Rumble side, but I think we're caught up. Double check. I don't want to leave any super chats behind or Rumble rants in this case.
No super chats behind.
That's right.
And I think we're good here. So I want to thank all the mods for all their help today. And I want to thank the panel for being here. Paul for checking out early, as he always does when he's got important shit to do besides hang out with us. And with that, Paulie, what you got going on?
I'll be live right now. I don't have the redirect, but the bigger channel, That Park Place, has it. Yeah, I'm not salty. But come on and hang out, motherfuckers, because I'm gonna have an actor, John Kaler, who is he's been in all kinds of different films. Talk about the business, and we'll go over some other pop culture items as well. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Andre, Brawley, and not Marvin.
But yeah, Bucky Cat, this is interesting. Maybe we should, Marvin, this is something maybe you should look into perhaps.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
Yeah. But speaking of, what are you looking into more recently over there on that Park Place, Geeks and Gamers, all that business?
A whole lot. We have got crazy days of content coming up. Right now, I'm working on an article about the fact that progressive activists have turned against Amanda Stenberg and claimed that she is stealing roles from dark-skinned Black people, and how she is dealing with that. A lot going on. So make sure you check out that Park Place and geeksgamers.com. Also, my channel, Tooneytown TV. We've got our game stream coming up Wednesday night at around 8 or 9 p.m. And then we've got Toonie Talk TV Thursday night, 8 p.m.
All right. Chris, what you got going on?
We're going to talk a little bit about how Hollywood sort of melted down over the Rush Hour 4 news. Coming back over at bleedingfool.com. In the morning, we get into a little bit more of James Cameron blasting Netflix for more than one reason, not just the reason that you've heard about. And Tom, I did send you the draft of that piece that we've got coming up for Wednesday. If you want to have,
I'll try to check that out.
And I don't know, just, let's just all pour one out for the single moms out there that aren't able to get their Disney gigs. And, I hope it works out.
Their 21-year-old sons.
Maybe one of her sons actually is an actor. He's done some acting gigs. I mean, he's working. I don't know what that means, but
they can pay rent, bitch.
Oh, wait a minute. He's an actor. That means, hey, I still gotta pay for this deadbeat motherfucker.
That's what I just said. They can pay rent.
Right. Yeah, he's couch surfing between parents. That's about it.
Let's not even get started on the whole epidemic of 20 to 30-year-old men that live at home still.
Oh,
this is a new
it could
thing.
Be honestly, Claudia might have casually said that, and then the Star Wars media jumped on that, focused on it, and never said, "Hey, Grok, how old are Claudia Black's kids?" It's really just that easy, y'all. And
wow.
You can do that and then verify it. But yeah, she's got a son named, I think, Thor and Odin. I could be wrong on those names. But
oh boy.
Yeah.
My favorite comment when we were talking about that, by the way, somebody in the chat just wrote, "Hey, Tom, lay off. Trans surgeries are expensive."
Okay, maybe. I think they're both straight. I don't know. I didn't go that far. So.
On the kid part, I don't know, right? Yeah.
But check it out, bleedingfool.com, and you can always follow me for my stuff at Chris Brawley on X. Let's make it
Take care. All right. With that, as Andre always says, it is time for Koalas in.
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given, koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given, koalas in the rain.